So Whoopi, what is it like being Whoopi Goldberg? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. Some days it's good. Some days it's tiring. Some days it's really fun, and some days it's like a pain.
you know, like you're walking down the street because you go shopping, you do stuff by yourself still.
Yeah.
Do you have to have security, or do you just?
Some people would prefer that I had security when I was outside by myself, but I break away. I run free like the lions. Born free, that's Whoopi G.
No, but I mean, because you walk down the street and you're Whoopi Goldberg, and sometimes you probably just don't want to be stopped on the street.
Then you don't go outside.
Really?
If you don't want to be stopped, you don't go out.
But isn't that kind of restricting your life?
Yeah, that's part of the payment, though.
Yeah.
You know, you pay the piper.
Sure.
Say, okay. So if you don't want to be bothered, every 28 days I stay in.
We have to.
I do. Of course, I'll snatch somebody bald if they come up and bug me.
Has anybody ever come up to you and sort of like really irritated you, and you know that sort of like, will you leave me alone? How do you deal with that?
Sometimes, and this has happened in Spain, some guy was following me with the camera, and I stopped and I let him take the pictures. I was really good.
Yeah.
And he didn't stop. And I had my bags. I was going to the airport. I got to the airport door. Boom! He popped out of a car. So I put my bags down and I hunched up. Because they get scared when we hunch.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they think we're going to be like a python and a hood's going to come up.
Sure.
So I hunched over and I chased him.
You chased him?
I chased him, screaming obscenities in Spanish and English, and he ran. And he fell over some garbage cans, and I felt good.
So you went, yeah, good.
Yeah, I've been known to go after people if they don't stop when I ask them to stop, then I feel like they're fair game,
But you're quite an outspoken person. You say what's on your mind, and in terms of in Hollywood, it feels like people are so controlled and so.
Not so. People
with you or with.
No, people say what's on their mind. It doesn't mean anybody's going to listen. But, the Hollywood is no different than any other city of industry. It's company town.
Sure.
You work for certain companies and you're there and, you do your thing. And sometimes some people are more gregarious than others. I'm slightly more gregarious than a lot of people. But my image is different. I don't have anything necessarily to preserve. I'm going to spread because, that's what we do. We don't wrinkle. We just spread.
Black don't crack.
That's right, black don't crack. So, I'm not worried about a lot of stuff that other people are worried about in their careers. So, you are whoever you want to be in Hollywood. And this idea that, there's a repressed sort of you can't speak, you can, but it's, again, the consequences of your action. You may speak out on something that people feel very strongly about, and they're going to respond.
Sure.
And you have to be ready to take that.
So do you think about the results? Like if you speak out about something that might affect your career, do you
Nobody
think...
bothers me with my career. They're used to me.
Sure.
And I don't think there's anything left that people have to hide. Right. They may feel like they have to hide it, but I don't think there's anything left. Ellen, having come out of the closet now, has sort of opened it up, and I don't think that, we can't hide that we're black. We know that Ellen is gay. We know K.D. Lang is gay. There's a lot of gay folks, a lot of black folks, a lot of interracial couples. Can't hide them.
Sure.
What's left?
So are you in love, Whoopi?
Yeah.
Good.
You thought I was going to give you more, didn't you?
No, I don't want no more.
All right.
You've got a big girl now. You've thrown me now.
It's good.
It's good. You've got one daughter.
Yes.
You're a grandmother now as well, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm a grandmother a whole lot.
What's it like being a mother?
It's a pain.
So how do you manage?
I didn't like it. I didn't think I was a good parent. My daughter says I was a good parent, but I thought the ideal way to raise a child was to raise a friend. You see, but you can't be a friend and be a parent.
Sure.
I didn't know this till quite later on, but she's a very good parent.
Were you building your career at the same time as? Because I mean, you had a child very young.
No, people keep saying that. I was 18 and married when I had my daughter.
Okay.
But the mythology that grows up, they say, well, she was black and she was under 20. She must have been a very young mother. She must have been a ghetto mother, and she had to claw her way up out the gate. It didn't happen that way. It's like the lady asked me last night, you must have had a very hard time. I said, no, I had a great childhood, you know.
But they kind of present your image as like a rags to riches.
I know. There was never rags. There was never rags. There was like not a lot of money. But, you know, the things we wanted to do, we did. And I guess it's more exciting to think of me, you know, running half dressed with crusty nose and, you know, no teeth and, you know, I don't have some image of a black woman taken from 20 years ago that they believed was, because I didn't look like Diane Carroll. They figured, well, Diane Carroll must have been well taken care of, you know, but her, the one with the hair.
Do you find that you fight that image in Hollywood with, like, you know, because, I mean, in Hollywood, they have this image of, like, you know, the Dorothy Dandridge, the kind of women, that whole, the light-skinned, dark-skinned
No,
thing.
that image, there was no light-skinned. There was nobody when I got there. The room was empty when I arrived.
Sure.
Cecily had left. You know,
The one.
Cecily was gone. And I can't think of who else might have been there. But the room was empty when I arrived, so there was no comparison. In terms of you don't look like. Now, the younger ones, they're all sort of, I think, biting each other, trying to figure out who's going to look the right way, you know, because there's a whole slew that all kind of look alike. I can tell them apart by their husbands.
Okay. Okay.
That's how I know who's married to this one, that's who that is.
So you must feel like really proud that you've kept.
I feel old.
No,
girl.
you don't. Look
Yeah, I
old.
do. I don't look old, but I feel old because they're all 12 and I'm 22.
Okay.
You know.
But I mean, your image has stuck with you for such a long time, because I saw you at the Albany Empire on the 28th of May, 1984.
Yes.
And you were doing...
My first trip to England. That's the first time I realized there were black people in England. Was at the Albany. I was like, oh, and they got accents.
Yeah.
I called my mother. She said, yes, there are black people in England.
And I saw you and I thought to myself, wow.
Yes.
I really thought, wow. And I came up to you and I think I just touched you.
You must have been
at
8
the time.
when this happened.
No, I wasn't. I was about 14.
Same thing. Same thing.
14, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, wow, this is phenomenal. I'm seeing a woman doing something, because they always told me that black women and comedy didn't go together. That's what we're kind of fed over here.
Really?
But we've broken that rule now, because
yeah.
the audience say,
you know, you know about Mom's Mabley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there have always been black women in comedy. It's a very, people will tell you that there's no place for you. And it's such a funny thing, because you say, oh, okay, well, there's a place for me now, because here I am.
sure.
You know, so people will tell you that you can't. Our entire careers, just as artists, are spent being told, no, you can't, because.
Sure.
This is like speaking a foreign language to me.
So you're very positive. If you hear the word can't, you just don't accept it?
Well, I listen to see the reason, just in case they're telling me the truth.
Right.
You know, because you got to listen. You can't do this because you're going to break your leg. Say, okay. You know, you don't just go off. You wait for them to put the period at the end of the sentence.
Right.
And then you assess it and you say, well, that's not possible, because you're telling me I can't have had these experiences because you've decided that black people can't be this way? That's insane. And then you freak them out and say, you know, there was a great migration from the South from 1928 to 1940 into, you know, Detroit and Chicago. I believe that's the Midwest, so why wouldn't I come from the Midwest? And this girl is from the Midwest, and her family has a farm, and I'm sure there were a lot of sharecroppers, so give me a job. You know, sorry. Sorry. This may be why I don't get to get. But look at him. Look at him, down on one knee, talking about go into the other room. You want us to go in the other room?
We're
having a good time.
Yeah, we're cool. We're gonna talk about your film career, but we're gonna do it in the cinema.
He wants to go in the cinema.
And I also want you to mention a book as well in the cinema.
Yeah, I'm carrying the book.
Now wait, I want you to come in and say, I want you to come in and tell us we got to go.
Can we go, please?
Okay.
Neil, come back. Come back, Neil.
I don't want to do that.
I know, come here, Neil.
Sorry.
This is Neil. Have you been on television before, Neil?
No, just behind. Yeah, I have actually.
Director.
Yes, this
I
is
have been on
Angie's director. Don't cut this out now,
That's right.
because we want people to
we
see me.
need you.
Neil, are you married?
No-ish. No, I'm not. I'm not legally married, but I'm sort of like.
You're living with someone.
Yeah.
Well, he's off the market, ladies.
Very much so.
Very much. Ooh, he's married.
She's vicious.
Well, I like to, I like to spread the wealth.
Yeah.
Because Neil is cute. Isn't he cute? Let's get a hand for Neil.
Neil is cute.
So you want us to go into the cinema?
Yes, please.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No.
Thank you very much.